Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the 88 Show. This is the internet's only dental show where we talk about what matters most in marketing. I'm your host, Joshua Scott, on a very special episode, number 108, wrapping up an intense 2 days here in Jamaica at the Delivering Wow Summit 2019. I've got the one and only Anissa Holmes right in here, sitting down for an interview. Let's go talk to her. I kind of love this set this morning because it's very contrast to the last 2 days of the hype and the fun that was happening in this space.
So many lives were changed. I had so many people come up to me and they said that this was absolutely the best event they've ever attended.
Yeah.
I mean, just being able to talk to the speakers and have access and be on the beach with them and be at an event with them and have the beginning of a relationship built, right? The culture here is phenomenal. As you know, we flew somebody in who had a desperate cry for help with their dental practice. On Wednesday, we decided to take action. She was here, she came on stage yesterday, and last night she said, you know, thank you, my mindset has changed. I see what's possible. And the community with Delivering Wow, the community of team members and doctors, they all embraced her. All of the companies came up to me and they're like, anything she needs, she has. And for me, the highlight is seeing not just the speakers, but seeing every single company that was represented here come together. And I know that the core message was care, and you don't find that everywhere. A lot of times it's about what can you do for me? I mean, the fact that you guys are here, you never asked me for anything, you know, and I'm like, you know, and you're like, no, I'm just here to help. You know, I want the message to get out there. And that was the central theme of everyone, and that's what touched me the most.
That's cool, that's cool. Let's go back to the beginning. Tell me about where Delivering Wow came from.
Yeah, you know, I started with my dental practice, and you know, how to create a unique culture. How do you build a team that will do anything for you? You know, how do you leave that impact? And once we did that, I was like, I have to help my people. I have to help dentists. And so that's when I wrote the book, and I was like, nobody knows me, and I started the podcast. And honestly, like, this was never ever in the equation. It was just like, I'm gonna just write a book and tell my story. And of course, when you help people, more people learn and they want you to help them. And so when I saw all of us coming together, I was like, you know what, it's time. It's time for me to step into my calling and to lead a movement of people helping people so that we can have better practices. People can learn how to run not only a profitable business, but one that has team health and great teams and community impact, and a give is a huge part of it. And again, I just think it's just amazing when I see happening.
Yeah. I know I first probably stumbled across your stuff. I mean, it was early on. I think it was right after maybe the book, but you know, in marketing world and marketing geeks, like when a dental practice Facebook page hits like 50,000 likes, we're all like, what? In Jamaica, we're all like, what is happening here? So that was immediately what got my attention. And then just started following you in the launch of the podcast and all that. You're a dentist, but you're also an entrepreneur. Where was there anything early on where you're like, I think I want to like own my own business, run my own business?
Yeah, I think I've always been that way.
Okay.
And it goes back to when I was probably about 7 years old.
Okay.
Right. So I actually went with my dad. I went to the pediatrician, and I didn't see the pediatrician. I saw the nurse. Right, and so the nurse does whatever she's supposed to do, and we walk out, and my dad goes to the counter and he writes the check, and he writes it to the doctor. And I'm like, Dad, like, why are you writing it to the doctor? Like, the doctor didn't do anything.
Wow.
Like, the nurse did all the work. She needs to get the money, you know? And my dad was like, you know, he owns the business. He's the business owner. And I was like, well, I want to be a doctor. I want to be the business owner. But it's just been always that way. I just, what I love about being an entrepreneur is that you can manufacture ideas that can become now a reality. I mean, the Platinum Mastermind, I mean, I'm so excited about that. Like this idea of like bringing together all of these smart people. We speak about it, you know, coaching and mentoring. I keep leveling up, you know, I keep hiring coaches and coaches on top of coaches to keep teaching me things that I need to be able to better serve and help people. And again, that's what an entrepreneur does. That's what successful people do. You get to a point where you're like, all right, how do I level up to the next level, right? And so for me, it was learning how to put processes and systems in place, right? So using things like Asana and putting in scaling processes. And that's what we've been able to do to be able to reach more, to be able to serve more, to be able to grow our team.
So for you, it's like if you can get the system in place kind of behind the scenes, then you feel better, like you've got confidence now. And
absolutely, because what happens is that typically any idea I have, this is how I do, I mind map it out. I'll take about a day to come up with a really, it doesn't take me that long.
Okay.
To come up. I mean, Platinum Mastermind was literally, I imagine, it took me a while to come up with the idea because I was like, I want something, but I don't know what it's going to be. But when it hit me, it took me a day to map it out. These are the coaches, these are the tracks, this is how it's going to work, this is how people are going to come in, and it was done. And then once that's done, I can say, okay, who's the who on my team that can make that happen? Who's the developer? Who's going to have the relationships? Who's going to make sure that the content looks the way that it looks? And he made it happen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah, I think that's what's cool with you. You have this really unique conversation, or combination, because a lot of times visionary and then like tactician, operator can be different personality sets. But you've got, people see the vision, you know, they see you on stage, they see you just out there as the lead, the front person with the vision, but behind the scenes, there's like, you're a tactician, like you're a strategist.
That is actually more of what I am, to be honest with you. Like I'm a funnel builder, I'm in there building my own funnels. The first site that I built online, which was like delivering while you, I actually built that whole site myself.
Okay.
Right, so connecting everything. That's how my mind actually thinks, but I understand that I have to be the leader, right? I have to have that voice, I have to be on video, I have to do the podcast, I have to be on stage. Why? Because that's how I get the people so that I can help them, right? And so I have to go through that process. I'm definitely a little bit of both.
Yeah, I can see you geeking out on that side of it. You're a dentist, leader, entrepreneur, visionary, mother, wife, all these things. How would you describe yourself? Who do you say that you are?
Yeah, for me, honestly, I feel like I'm a world changer. Yeah, and a world changer in many ways. Like, so if you look at, you know, for my kids, how can I be a world changer for them? You know, taking them to Kenya, where we Delivering While built a school, and they were there, and we were painting, and like my son is carrying big boulders and like building like footpaths for these kids in Kenya. Like, I'm a world changer for them so that they can have a better life and do the same. You know, I'm a world changer for industry leaders so that they can see my example of giving and they can do the same thing, right? I'm a world changer for doctors to see what's possible. If you just work hard, you can build something amazing, just like I did in my practice. And also for my community, the country, I know that I now have a responsibility and people look up to me. And so for me, that's what I'm striving to be. I'm not where I want to be yet, but ultimately that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. That's awesome. Knowing what you know now, go back to 20-year-old Anissa. What do you tell her?
I just tell her, keep going. You're doing something amazing. Keep consistent. Keep helping people. And you know, you're gonna change the world. Yeah. Before we wrap up, look, I want to take a second. I want to validate you. I want you to know what you're doing is so important. You know this, but you're giving so many people a voice that it's amazing. And that's what you saw here, is people saying, like, I found my voice and I can do this. You're bringing this world of abundance into dentistry, which is why I connect with you so well, which is something dentistry has needed for so long. That it's not just this, you know, piece that we all got to get. It's, man, if we link arms and do this, it's going to be so much better, so much bigger. So you're expanding the world for dentistry for so many people in this room. So keep doing it. Thank you.
Cool. You guys killed it. Yay.